Nuri, do you want to get into a little bit of detail about how specifically ActiveControl can help to complement Cloud ALM?
Yes, yes. So now let's focus on how ActiveControl fits in, whether you're planning for Cloud ALM, continuing with ChaRM, or navigating a hybrid setup. Many customers are turning to ActiveControl to bring that speed, visibility, and automation without having to replace existing tools. So we'll take a look at some of the capabilities in the next few slides. The next slide has some of the key value drivers for ActiveControl. So ActiveControl isn't new. It's proven. It's a proven enterprise-grade solution that's been supporting SAP change control for over a decade. It's designed for today's hybrid and complex landscapes. It offers the reliability, robustness, and maturity that organizations need now. Whether you're operating ECC, S/4HANA, BTP, or a mix of on-prem and cloud systems, ActiveControl integrates seamlessly. It'll enable you to do change control without needing like a full cloud transition. You can modernize at your own speed, system by system. So risk mitigation, it is built in ActiveControl with 70 plus analyzers that will detect issues pre-import. And if at all something slips through the cracks, there's a one-click backout option that's available. So all of this will help safeguard production, minimizing downtime. ActiveControl will remove the pain of dual maintenance by automating continuous synchronization across tracks and projects. So all your business as usual changes can continue even during large transformation projects. ActiveControl integrates out of the box with leading like DevOps tools and ITSM tools like Jira, ServiceNow, Azure DevOps, GitLab. It can also integrate with Cloud ALM, like how Ross mentioned. And we will talk a bit more about that. You will be live in a little bit, in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. So you're getting value fast without a whole lot of disruptions. So we'll see some of these capabilities in more detail in the next few slides. Starting with the analyzers, ActiveControl, like I mentioned, it has 70 plus analyzers. Plus, you have the ability to build any other custom ones that could be critical for your organizations. So these analyzers can be configured at key checkpoints during the change process. They're designed for developers, testers, and managers to automate reviews for test coverage from a security and standards compliance point of view. You have analyzers for checking conflicts, for checking dependencies, overwrite and regression issues. There's also analyzers for segregation of duties checks. So just to name a few, you have all these capabilities available. This means that you can do faster approvals, you have fewer surprises in production, and overall just better quality of changes going in without a whole lot of extra effort. Now, although a majority of SAP customers have a more simplistic dev to production landscape setup, some organizations, especially like the larger, more complex ones, they can have more complex architectures. Now, whether that is multi-track development or like one-to-many development, templated landscapes, air-gapped landscapes. So many organizations in heavily, regulated industries and secure environments like government and pharma and all those types of organizations, they may have air-gapped landscapes, which means like the non-production systems are on a completely different network, and the production environments are the production systems are on a different like environment or network altogether. So even in those situations, however your organization's SAP landscape is architected, ActiveControl can be configured to manage and automate change through it, no matter how complex. Let's look at the next capability. So as SAP customers plan their move to S/4HANA, managing your parallel changes across ECC and S4, it becomes challenging, right? ActiveControl helps bridge this gap. We have real-time inline conflict analysis, which basically flags conflicts between ECC and S4 changes. We have object splitting, which separates out the ECC only objects to keep the S4 migration, clean and focused. So it'll separate changes that are relevant for ECC and changes that are relevant for S4. A rules engine that'll let you tailor change workflows based on your migration needs, be it central or regional. ActiveControl will also it'll detect issues early on, and it'll automate the approvals process to reduce delays. There's also automated synchronization, so it'll keep your ECC and S4 in sync without having to manually rekey everything. This is how ActiveControl can accelerate and de-risk your S4HANA migrations. Okay, so this next capability, it is my favorite one, and I wish I had access to a feature like this back when I was doing production support, right? I'm sure even with the best controls in place, you probably have experienced that things can go wrong. Now, ActiveControl's enhanced backout, it lets authorized users quickly identify and reverse specific changes. There's no complex steps, there's no waiting. In the event of something like a P1 incident, something that messes up production, this one-click rollback capability will help avoid any costly business disruptions. So this backout capability, it's very much integrated into the core solution. It's not an add-on, and there are checks and balances in place that even when you back out, the changes are being backed out safely. Let's take a look at the next capability, which is real-time risk scoring. So ActiveControl, for all your in-flight changes or in-flight transports, it'll give you a real-time risk score. Each change, it is automatically analyzed, and it's given a comprehensive impact or risk score, where it is essentially flagging high-risk items. So if this risk score, if it's above a certain threshold, you can configure ActiveControl to have additional review points so that it doesn't go into production unnoticed. And this risk weightage, it's something that you as a customer can define. So based on your processes and based on the criticality of certain objects, you can configure, you can set this risk weightage. And yeah, wherever there's something which is of high impact, you can have multiple levels of approvals or scrutiny. And if it's low impact, you can do the opposite, where it need not go through so many levels of approval. You can just automate it so that it directly goes into the cab queue, or it goes into the production queues. Let's look at the next capability. As customers adopt BTP services along with ECC and S4, change governance becomes a bit more fragmented. So ActiveControl, what it can do is it'll bring these BTP changes from DataSphere or integration suite or build process automation. It'll get all the changes from there into the same release process as your core SAP changes. So there's end-to-end visibility, and there's all these quality checks, and your BTP changes aren't segregated. They are very much a part of your current change process. Let's take a look at the next one. Now, one of the most time-consuming audit challenges is piecing together what happened when. Now, ActiveControl, it'll do that automatically. It captures the full life cycle of every change, including retrofits, approvals, and it'll give you the single source of truth. Whether you need a quick snapshot or a detailed report, you can generate both ad hoc and scheduled audit reports in whatever format you want, making compliance a whole lot easier for you and your teams.